Hey folks, it's Bad Brad Berkowitz, live at the Buffalo Run Casino in Miami, Oklahoma. Trey Morrison just won in the main event. The promoter of the card, Tony Holden here. Tony's been on before, and I know Tony's ready to go do whatever his natural routine is after the fight. But first I want to ask you, first of all, thanks for taking the time to talk. Overall, how did you think the fight?
Jarrett Rouse had a good night. Everything else is very disappointing.
Okay.
You know, it's one of those times as a promoter you're going to have a bad night. Tonight was it.
Okay.
We didn't have a loss, but,
no.
You know, I saw
couple cuts. Yeah. Okay. Jesse's fight, unfortunately, was stopped on a cut.
Right.
It was back and forth action. Jesse, as he always does, lands that knee left hook. His nickname for him. Up until the stoppage with the headbutt, how do you think Jesse is?
He still resorts to the same habits he needs to get out of. And what that is everything's a power punch. He doesn't sit back and box, and he exerts so much energy that he's going to run out of gas in his later rounds because every shot he's trying to
knock the guy's block.
Knock the guy out. You can't do that.
Okay.
So that's something that he needs to work with more and more in sparring, and tonight should be a perfect example of how it can hurt him.
Did you notice, and I don't remember which round, I want to misquote the round, it was one round when he came back where he looked actually a little bit hurt. It was a round where he took kind of a while.
I think he was hurt. Yeah.
Did you see that as well?
Yeah, he was hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, he got tagged.
Okay.
So, I'm not Jesse, but it looked like he was hurt.
And I agree with you. You said you're happy with Jarrett's performance?
Jarrett did a great job.
Okay.
I'd like to see Jarrett throw a little bit more punches.
And I agree with you.
And maybe a little bit more combinations.
Yes, that was my critique.
But Jarrett has all the potential in the world. He needs to probably get in the ring with some top 20 sparring.
Okay.
And, that way they will expose, the things he needs to work on outside of being in the real ring.
Okay. And that off of that comment, we may differ in how we feel about the main event, but I think actually Trey was baptized. I'm always tough on Trey. And I gotta be honest, I know there was things that we talked before we started shooting that you would like to see him work on. But I think he showed a lot of heart tonight. He was cut badly. He didn't quit. He was hurt. He came back to, I don't remember what round it was. I think he was hurt. He came back to the corner and he looked like he was staggered a little bit. But he persevered. He went to the body. He pulled out the win. And he had an opponent in front of him that was hitting back. There was a little cutie playing the rope-a-dope, as you said, with him. Do you think that it's definitely, because I do, but I want to ask you, do you think it's paying off dividends, him working with Freddie Roach in the sparring level, which I think helped him big time tonight, because I think he spars probably with tougher guys than this guy, even though I think he was tough too.
Yeah, I still think it's the right place. I think the sparring's great for him. If he didn't have the sparring, we'd be picking him up.
And that's
off
what I'm
the
saying.
floor.
That's where I was going with that.
I give him a D. You know me, I don't sugarcoat my boys. I'm hard on.
Right.
Lucky I don't give him a D minus, a D. And what the reason is, why in the world are you throwing so many punches, Trey? He's got to learn. You don't have to throw punches. You can slow down, use the jab, back up, look for the punches, or you're going to be exhausted. And he was exhausted, and he ran it. I mean, his punches ended up being nothing at the end. And that's where he was going to get hurt. And the rope-a-dope, that's where his dad lost to Michael Bent, lost $8 million payday, the exact same thing. So, in my opinion, I give him a D. This is a great learning experience for him to take. I mean, to me, I always say a fighter, you'll never know how good a fighter is till he handles a loss. Well, none of the boys had a loss. But he can handle this like it was a loss, even though he won, because he made so many mistakes that were unnecessary. You don't have to throw that many punches, especially as a heavyweight. It's impossible. I mean, if he had a punch count, have you seen a heavyweight fight where a heavyweight threw that many punches? I haven't.
It's a lot of punches. It's a lot of punches. And tell me, do you think, I thought the first round he fought a completely different fight than he fought whatever round that was stopped him. And look, because I'm used to him going side to side, doing a side to side thing, and kind of looking like his dad somewhat, because he's got major power. It looked like he fought two different styles. Do you think it's because, do you agree? Do you think
it is?
Cracked?
And
he got cracked and then he changed his style?
No, because Freddie's changing his style.
And
he started about 4 weeks ago. He's doing a little bit more like Mike Tyson, getting down and fighting a little bit more like Mike Tyson on the inside. I'm not going to challenge Freddie. When you change his style, it takes a lot of time. I'm a firm believer in every heavyweight style. You got to step back and snap the jab now and take a deep breath.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, and the question that I got to ask you is about Kenzie Morrison, because I read a couple articles before the card started here. What's going on with his suspension?
Kenzie's training harder than ever after this fight. He's off suspension. He'll be on the next show.
Okay.
You know, I want to make something clear. Kenzie wasn't out there caravanning or doing anything wrong or anything improper at all. You know, he has a little boy, he has a family, he had a job, and he was just missing a couple of training sessions.
Okay.
And it wasn't really intentional, but it got to the point where I said, Kenzie, we're going to take a fight off, and you're going to get your stuff together. You're going to get it together and get it all worked out and come back. Or, Brad, you're going to get hurt. That's where fighters get hurt.
Right, you don't play boxing.
This is a serious game.
You don't play
and just
boxing.
like you saw Jesse and Trey tonight, this is serious business. This is a hurt business, and you can get killed in this game.
And I agree with you. Now, I know that you want to take off and do your thing, but I made Randy a bet. Don't make me look bad on camera, Tony. He said, you won't get Tony to say forget about it. I said, I bet he'll do it for me. So one time, Tony. You've been giving me the business about the cat. You got to say it one time. Tony,
I'm not going to say it.
He's not going to say it.
I'm not going to say it.
He's going to put me on the spot.
Forget about it, Brad. It's not going to happen.
Let me come over back in the shot. This is why I love Tony Holden, because he tells it like it is. He's not going to pull any punches. Even if I'm putting him on camera, even if he answers 1 out of 7 texts back to me, he does answer at least 1. So 1 out of 7, I guess, is getting better because it used to be 0 out of 7. But I got to tell you, that's what I admire about him. You saw the interview I did at his house last year that he refuses to admit. By the way, I talked to Bryce, and he said, you're very insensitive to his cat, and he doesn't appreciate that you're doing it. Yeah, and here he is with the meds. Here he is with the meds. But hey, love having you on, Tony. Thank you so much. All right, folks, you look for the post-fight wrap-up. We're going to try to grab some of the fighters in the back. Hopefully we can catch them before they leave. Bad Brad Berkwood, again, live from the Buffalo Run Casino in Miami, Oklahoma. As I said on all that Facebook promoting, you need to come out and support these guys right now, because when somebody breaks and become a world champion, you could say you were here and you were there. All right? On that note, forget about it. Bad Brad out.